All right, welcome back to another 5 minutes tutorial in Excel. In tonight's lesson, we want to take a look at naming a range. And so let's jump into it. In order for you to understand what naming a range means, we can look at this example where we found total by typing in equal sum, if you can remember how we did for preparation of functions, equal sum followed by the range F3 to F8. So if you wanted to not use this particular range spec that is here, then you can actually name the range by giving it a name that you probably can remember or um, that is more meaningful to you. So let's get rid of this formula and we're going to use a name range. So we want to name this range. So I'll select the range that I want to name. And maybe a good name for this range is the same label name. So final price. So select the range. Go here to the name box and type in the name that you want. So I'm calling this final price. Now, while we're in here, you would want to click out. Don't click out, just press the enter key. And there, it should have named the range final price. Now, what I can do is that in total, I would type equal sum, open bracket. Now, instead of typing F3 to F8, I would type equal sum, open bracket of final. And see, Excel is already helping us by bringing it up, right? Final price. So there's no need for the range. So when I press enter, it gives me the same answer, but this time I'm typing in the name of the box that I'm using, or the name of the range that I'm using. So it means then that I could select a group of cells like that and give that a name. And so if I'm using that for any particular reason, I can then pop up back the name, right? Another good example is, say for example here, we used, to find discount, we use the absolute cell reference of E1, if you remember that. And so we did $E, $1. Now we could have given this a name that would be something that you can remember, or something that is easier for you instead of having to type the E1, right? And something that you always reference to by just typing in the name. So instead of using the $E1, we could have named cell E1 as, let's call it discount. Let me capitalize the D. So that would be discount. So that would be the name of the cell. So now instead of typing in the absolute cell reference of E1, I would type in D3, which is the total cost, times the discount. And it gave me the same answer, and I can still autofill this. Now look what happens. In the cells below, it keeps the word discount, so it works like kind of like an autofill feature, right? So you can also then name a particular cell or rename a particular cell. And remember the concept I gave before where we think of cells as variables. This time you're giving your variable its own name instead of abiding by the column and the row, right? And so it works well for ranges, as you'll see in some of our other lessons. But in this particular case, we can now find the sum of a particular range. We could find the product of that range. We could find the max and the min and so forth, right? So go ahead and give the worksheet a try and see if you could fill in the rest for what the maximum price was, what the minimum price was, what the average price was. So for today's lesson, again, we copied over data from one cell to the other, from one worksheet to the other, right? And, oh, we didn't, actually. So I'm working in the same worksheet. We also got a chance to look at the naming of cell range as opposed to using the actual cell names. So that's it for this particular lesson. Thank you for watching.